How you guys doing this week? Um, this is going to be a little bit more about the topic at hand that's kind of been going on around my Facebook and my Instagram so far. A lot of the discussion I've been having with most of you guys, really. And it's really an odd phenomenon right now in the world, specifically in the United States. What used to be a kind of a common characteristic, common attribute for most workers, most men, and including women as well. 15, 30 years ago, really, it was just kind of always assumed that you had a good work ethic. That was just kind of basic. That was what was expected of you. And I'm not really sure what causes the change, and I'm not really here to talk about what or how or why. It really doesn't matter. What really does matter is that it is here. What we have in front of us is a severe case of entitlement going on with people trying to get into the work field, of all sorts. For us specifically here, it's in the welding career. A lot of people are not getting into welding right now, and a lot of it is not getting into any blue-collar work whatsoever, because of the sense of entitlement that the world or companies kind of owe people something when they come out of school. And like I said, I don't know why it is that way or why people have that chip on their shoulder. I just know it's an issue that needs to be solved. It's actually an opportunity for you if you're wanting to get into welding, and this is why. What used to be common is not so common anymore. Kind of like common sense is not common anymore. What used to be common is it was just a normal mindset that an hour worked, get an hour's pay, straight across the board. Now everyone's got this mentality, for the most part, I should say, not everyone, got this mentality that they should only need to work about 45 minutes, but they deserve to get paid for a full hour. And what this is leading to is a lot of bad raps on welders and the welding industry, because there's such a high demand for welders and such a low supply. So really anyone can become a welder, which you would think would be a great thing, but it's actually not. There's a lot of people that they really don't get it. They don't love it. It's not their profession. They don't take pride in it. They're really just chasing the money. It was just an opportunity. Just because the demand is so high, pay is really high as well. If you're going to weld, be doing it because you love to create, because you love to have pride in your work. You love to get better every single day. And how you can make that difference, how you can bust into welding right now so easy, kind of be pushing the easy button, is just have a good work ethic. That's it. That was an attribute a long time ago that was kind of commonplace, and it's not now. It's an asset now. That's the easy button. I'll lay it out in kind of a story here. It is a personal story that I actually went through. When I was a third-year apprentice, I was presented with the opportunity to go through an accelerated welding program as an 18-week program put on by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Union for me and my classmates that were wanting to continue our learning with welding. We got in. Immediately, there was two groups. I can tell you right off the bat. There was the group of guys that just got into it either because they wanted to get out of work, take 18 weeks off, and this was an excuse, or they wanted to learn how to weld, but they never put in their own time. Okay, that was the first group. Second group was a group that I was in and a lot of my closest friends were in. And this group involved people that have either gone to welding school or an AvTech of some sort beforehand, before getting into the apprenticeship, or we spent all of our own time. We spent our breaks, our lunches, after work, and our days off to practice welding. So we'd all already been in it and been doing it. Those are the two groups when we very first started out. Here's the thing. We all had the same amount of days and the same amount of hours in each and every day to learn how to weld. As the days went on, you can start seeing there was now a new set or new couple of groups breaking up. And the two groups now, from start to being in it, was the group one that took really long breaks. I'm talking like 45-minute breaks twice a day. And then lunches, we're talking about hour-long to hour-and-a-half-long lunches. And then they would kind of talk and, be jumping around the booths and stuff and not welding so much. So they were probably getting about 60% of their time was going towards welding out of the time allotted. 60 to 70%, I would say. Then there was the second group, took the shortest amount of breaks as possible and were welding the whole time they could, using about 90% of our allotted time to weld. The other 10% was cutting coupons, prepping them, and refitting them to weld. All right. So we were taking 15-minute breaks, 2 15-minute breaks, half-hour lunches, and then other than that, our hood was down. We were welding. And every once in a while, we would go talk to each other if there's any pointers, but 90% of the time we were welding or putting our time in. Fast forward now all the way to the end. Here we are all standing with a piece of paper that says we have completed a 720-hour pipe welder training. Okay, we all had this piece of paper. I believe there was 12 of us. 5, maybe 6 of us were certified in what we had been practicing on. Out of 12, only 5 to 6 of us had certifications. So you're asking, well, why? You all had the same opportunity. You all hold the same piece of paper. That's the difference. The difference between all of us was who had first shown initiative and a work ethic before this opportunity was ever presented to us. We were prepared. We didn't know this was ever going to happen for us, but we were prepared anyways. There was no promise at the end for us that, hey, third year in your third-year apprenticeship, you're going to have an opportunity to go through an accelerated welding program, which will lead to you guys busting out as welders. No one told us that. So first year, second year, most of third year, we were spending our own time just learning how to weld, just for whenever we turned out we were going to be welders. That was the first thing. There is no promise of anything, no guarantee of anything. We were naturally inclined to have good work ethic and to have the desire to learn how to weld, to get better. It was very intriguing to us. So that was the first step of why most of us that passed the weld tests at the end of this class, we're already so far ahead. Now the other part is we used our time efficiently. There's no piece of paper that's going to be able to make you a better or a worse welder. The only thing that will ever deem you as a good welder, one that deserves to be called a welder, one that's achieving or becoming a 1%er in welding, the only time that is ever going to happen is just out of experience. Welding is one of the very few careers that I know that experience trumps knowledge 100% of the time. We all had that piece of paper. Why were we all not equal? It's because that piece of paper said we were all qualified. We all completed it. But what that piece of paper didn't show people was how we used our time. How much of that time did we actually use welding and teaching ourselves, driving ourselves, work ethic. So the main moral to the story is the easy button for you guys. If you want to succeed in welding, it's the easy button. It's called work ethic. Are you willing to work? Are you willing to put in the time? And are you willing to be patient and taking the responsibility on yourself for everything that happens to you? Don't be entitled. Don't start blaming all sorts of things for all your problems in life. Everything's on you. And when you have that attitude, then you're going to start making a difference. You're going to become a 1%er. I guarantee you, I'm going to see you in 10 years. You're going to be a 1%er. You're going to be one of the best out there. Work ethic is an asset now. It's the easy button. What used to be commonplace now is so hard to come by that if you just work hard, you will succeed. I don't know how much easier that can get, guys. I really don't. So if you're going to school, keep going to school, but put in the time. Use your time efficiently. I really don't care where you learn to weld, how you learn to weld. What I do care about is your own personal desire to take the reins on your life, to learn it. You can succeed in welding. I believe it's one of the best careers to get into right now just because such a high demand and such a small supply, and it's so easy to stand out in this field right now. Now's the best opportunity above all else to get into it and stick with it. It looks like it's a long time off, but I cannot tell you enough how young you are. Guys, we are so young. Love the process. Learn to love learning and learn to have a good work ethic, and you guys are going to kill it. You're going to be the 1%ers. You're going to be the ones making the top money. You're going to be the ones that people are calling for because they know you're the best. You're going to go far. And I know you can just with good work ethic, because I've had very experienced welders tell me, man, I got so much to teach. If only there was someone that wanted to learn. No one wants to learn anymore. Nobody wants to take the time to learn anymore. It's always looking for that fast and that quick way. So put in the time, be patient, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best decision of your life. Don't forget to subscribe if you're watching this, and hey, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. I'd love to talk to you. I do answer all of my comments right now. It's not out of hand or I can't get to you. If you have a question, leave it in the comments. I will get to it, I promise.